6 a.m, Anzac Day, Te Teko, Bay of Plenty.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old.
They've been commemorating Anzac Day here for the last 70 years, today with a special guest, Wiliapiata VC.
Age shall not rule them, nor the years condemn.
But this year is different from any other. Because this will be the last time Te Teko RSA commemorates Anzac Day as part of the Royal New Zealand Returned Services Association.
We are now moving away from the word RSA. We're moving away from the word RSA as part of our mana motuhake. Today we have replaced it with our own brand and entity.
And why is it happening? Because a controversial new constitution doesn't include Te Tiriti or Waitangi.
To me, the treaty has to be honoured, and the government hasn't honoured it yet. They've recognised it in principles, but not in the articles. I'm going the other way. We're going to recognise the articles. Two different things.
For Hemana Waaka and Te Teko, recognising Te Tiriti is the big sticking point.
The first reason why I decided to quit was a work party was going around the country from Wellington promoting the new constitution. It came to whakatane, and then while he was doing his presentation, any questions? I said to him, yes, I have one. He said, yes. Well, are you going to recognise the Treaty of Waitangi and its principles? Pause, uncertainty. Well, put it in anyway. We'll see what happens. That gave me right away, it was a waste of time.
Hemana was in Whakatane when we had a big rōpū up there talking about the Constitution. And he says, well, we've never met. Well, you did on that day. You had the chance to ask the questions, but no one asked questions.
For Sir Wayne Buck Shelford, as National President, Te Teko is just one of his problems as dozens of RSA branches are thinking of breaking away because of a new national constitution that aims to modernise and refocus on veterans.
I don't have a problem with doing their own thing. You break away, you're by yourself. And you're just looking after your own people, which is fine. You can look after your own people, but you just cannot use the names and as I said before, the RSA letters in your new name, if you're going to have a new Māori name. But at the end of the day, let's talk first. No one's had the chance to talk to you.
Te Teko nestles in the hills along the banks of the Rangitaiki River. And among those commemorating Anzac this year, like she always does in memory of her koro, is Tanya Waikato. She's a lawyer.
Our firm's just recently been involved in the Waitangi Tribunal hearings on the Veterans Inquiry, and the inequality and injustices that our Māori veterans have faced for a very long time are very apparent.
Tanya is 100% behind the decision for Te Teko to break away.
For me, a decision like this from Koro Hemana just showed leadership, and it's an expression of mana motuhake and tino rangatiratanga, so I fully supported that.
The Te Teko RSA is lined with images of tipuna from the 28th Māori Battalion, images that speak to the pride, the hurt, the mamae.
One of the most sort of telling issues, especially living here and growing up here, is the land allocations that were given to Pākehā soldiers, but not to Māori soldiers. And if you go for a drive, literally just a few kilometres that way, there are roads called Soldiers Settlement Road and Otakiri Soldiers Road that are on whenua that was confiscated from our people and then given to Pākehā soldiers while our Māori soldiers missed out. We've got three marae within about a 500 metre space of each other because we were landless and we were shoved into these tiny little pockets of land that were left over. So For me, growing up here, it's a very sort of stark reminder that our soldiers were not treated equally, even though they gave the ultimate sacrifice, which is what all of these crosses behind us represent.
It's a story shared throughout the motu. Soldiers returning home, many carrying the scars, both physically and emotionally, only to find themselves treated as second-class citizens.
Our Māori people, they believe that, many of them were treated really badly when they came back from the First World War, Second World War.
If the treaty principles were part of the RSA, they would follow, tikanga and support that Māori need. Do you think that would therefore be valuable, having that in?
Maybe, yes, they could actually look at it. And so that was probably not in the thinking of probably the national RSA at the time, but it's been brought up now. So it's a bit late to put the treaty into the Constitution. And I would say that it would come up again, it will come up again, but then it's got to go to the vote, to the remit, put the remit in, and go from there. Those are sort of things that will take a long time.
As one tree falls, another tree arises. As the words of the RSA lies dormant, a new entity has arisen.
And for Te Teko, that means going it alone, even if the cost is losing support from the national organisation.
What support? Rawato Pātai, what support? We were raising money, we were paying membership fees to the RSA down in Wellington. That's number one. Number two, we raised money from our poppies, we sent it down to Wellington. Today we're going for change. We're going to be a new organisation, look after our own mana motuhake with our own funding, accountable for our own money, and open up our RSA club for anyone that to become a member.
Coming up, breaking apart after 109 years, the RSA in crisis.
No mai ki te ao with Moana. We're back in 25, looking at the world around us through a Māori lens, connecting the dots across Aotearoa and beyond. The politics, the people, the stuff that affects our whānau. We're here for you, challenging and celebrating as well, every Monday night on Whakaata Māori.
Just up the road at Kokohino Marae, they're all in on Hemana's plans.
Ki tōku nā kau, he kōrero mo te tikanga o te mana motuhake. Nā reira, yeah, so I think that it's about time like we stand on our own rangatiratanga as people, and also that we just have our own structures and the way of how we run things as a tangata whenua.
And they're not alone. Dozens of clubs are threatening to do the same because of the proposed new constitution, even though the RSA is obliged to change it under the Incorporated Societies Act.
There's no arguing about it. This is what they've put in. And so we've got all those in there, and we just updated our constitution, and hopefully they've got it right.
This club has always and will be, the survival of it is based on our whānau.
But some clubs believe the constitutional changes will fundamentally undermine how they operate, and feel they've been unfairly characterised as running social clubs rather than being veteran-focused. Amidst criticism of poor governance, and with tens of millions of dollars at stake, the RSA leadership says change is essential.
The RSAs themselves were a great idea, but the idea is struggling now. A lot of people are not drinking now. The price of alcohol is right through the roof. And they go there for a social atmosphere to meet with their mates, but now they've got very few mates left. And that's one of the big things. They're all civilians.
The RSA leadership has much to wrestle with.
Well, we know that Hemana Waaka, Hemana Waaka has actually decided to leave, but it takes a little bit of time to actually break away. It doesn't happen overnight. You know, these are the first words, let's start talking. No one's had a good talk with them about it, but they've got their reasons for it. Is it just Hemana wanting to go, or is it all of the tangata that use RSA? Because it's better for us to be together than apart.
Hemana already took matters into his own hands by signing a contract with local Māori health authority, Te Puna Ora o Mātaamua.
If they are not looking after us, who's going to look after us? That was one of the main reasons I went to Puna Ora o Mātaamua. If no one's going to look after us, then I'll make the move for this RSA to be part of it. Now we get free visits to the doctors. They take us to our specialist appointments, kare huge, you know. And now we can have mili kare huge, and we can the doctor's visits, kare huge. Coming to the doctors, kare huge. If you go into hospital, they pick up and take you home. There's some hauoros there, and it doesn't just have to be Māori veterans. It could be any veteran. They can give them the support, but the problem always was, well, who's going to pay for it?
There are all sorts of things to be resolved, like use of the RSA emblems, symbols, and building ownership.
But at the end of the day, who owns what within the RSA? Is it owned by the RSA? Well, it belongs to the RSA and it never moves.
It's a joining. There's two separate buildings. They join it together, and the land out there was granted, donated to them.
So it's been gifted by people from here,
Yes.
so it's not owned by the New Zealand RSA?
Absolutely not.
So many may not understand.
Te Teko is already well down the path of independence. They have a new name, Te Hoko Whetū ki Te Teko Returned Services League, honouring the first Māori contingent of the First World War.
This one was very personal, very specific. That name is honoured, so that's the main reason. We are here for a real purpose, to commit to the memory and remember them forever. The flag and the logo of those 500 soldiers that died, and some came back.
And the new club will respect other kaupapa as well.
We opened this club up for weddings, birthdays, for cooks when they finish the tani, they come and relax. This is not just an RSA, this is a building for the whole community. And so 2 days of the year is all I'm asking for the military commitment, Anzac Day and Armistice.
Hemana's got this whole vision for revitalising the RSL, involving the community in a much broader sense, incorporating, you know, the rangatahi and the marae and the hapu, because without that, you know, there's a real threat that places like this will just sort of fall by the wayside.
As for that kōrero Buck suggested,
I wish Buck was here. You know, I'll be happy to give him a new polo shirt. Buck is Māori. He knows what I'm talking about, the way to a Māori. You know, that's what it is. If he wants to talk to me, come and talk to me. I'll say, here's my constitution, here's your constitution. We will still support any RSA in the country. Doesn't matter what. We'll go to any RSA, play A-ball, get on a piss with them, not a problem. Just because they're an RSA, doesn't, we RSA, that's a comradeship that will never be broken.
I'll be sailing till I get you back in my arms.